There are 5 big differences between a nice guy and a confident man. And in this video, mate, I want to tell you what those 5 differences are so that you can know what it's like to actually be a confident man versus being a nice guy. Nice guys, they don't truly live, they only survive. So the first big difference is all about his relationship with conflict. About 6 years ago, I'm at a music festival with my girlfriend at the time. And meters away from me, she is flirting openly with another man. And in this moment, I'm sat there, I'm feeling jealous, I'm feeling hurt, I'm feeling disrespected, I'm feeling forgotten and abandoned. My inner child is upset about this. But Mr. Nice Guy creeps in and says, "You don't deserve to say anything about that. You shouldn't rock the boat. Don't say anything, don't upset her." So I said nothing. I literally said nothing about that. And that is what a nice guy does in relation to conflict and confrontation. He avoids it and he assumes that automatically he is in the wrong. But what does a confident man do? A confident man, he steps into conflict and confrontation in a healthy way, in a respectful way, while being assertive without being an overly aggressive asshole. In that situation, a confident man, a confident Oliver, would have told her that bothered me. I would have said, that bothered me. You know, if I wouldn't have done it to her, I shouldn't have expected it from her. Confident men do not go looking for conflict, but they don't avoid it either. And this is in relation to the second difference, which is all about attraction. I want you to be honest with me, mate. When you like someone physically, when you have attraction towards somebody, are you comfortable expressing that to them, probably early on in the interaction, or do you hide that? Tom was a former client of mine and he came to me because he was struggling in his dating life. He was struggling to attract the kind of women that he really liked. He thought that it was because of his looks. He thought that it was because of his status. He thought that it was because of his income. And he thought it was because he wasn't tall enough, even though he was 5'11". So what the hell's that all about? But when we started talking and started discussing this and exploring this, we learned that what he essentially does when he's attracted to a woman is he hides it. He thinks on some level that his desire and attraction is something that he is inflicting on that poor woman. So he needs to hide it. So what does he do instead? He sits in the safe grey zone, otherwise known as the friend zone. So, and essentially, over the course of an entire couple of decades in his life, he had gotten into the practice of friend zoning himself because he was a nice guy, because that's what nice guys do. Nice guys assume that their sexual desire or masculine sexuality as a whole is something that needs to be hidden from the general public because it's dirty, shameful, or toxic, or creepy, or whatever. But what does a confident man do instead? A confident man loves his sexuality. A confident man is at peace with his sexuality. He also sees that it's a gift to be given, not a toxic trait that needs to be hidden at all costs. And when Tom started embodying this in the way of flirting, in the way of expressing desire early on, authentically if he felt it, Tom started noticing over the course of months that more and more women were picking him. He was experiencing desire for the first time, that real feeling of raw desire from women, because he wasn't friend zoning himself anymore. And the third biggest difference I've noticed is all about asking for what you want. A few years ago, I was in a relationship with another woman and she wanted to go on vacation to the south of Portugal. At the time, I was focused on my work and I didn't want to go on this vacation at all. But did I say anything to her? No, I didn't. I smiled and nodded and I said, "Yes, dear," pretty much. And I was like, yeah, sure. I just faked a bunch of interest in this holiday because I thought that's what she wanted. So then what happened? We ended up going on vacation to the south of Portugal and I was a resentful little nub the entire time. I was difficult, I was challenging, I was bitter. Oh, it was awful, honestly. It was horrible. I don't like thinking about it. But there's a lesson in this. I was a nice guy, so I didn't tell her what I wanted. I didn't express my preferences even. If I'd have been a confident man in that moment, I would have said to her, "No, you know what, honestly, it's not the right time. My focus is on my work right now. I wouldn't be able to fully enjoy the vacation, so let's choose a different date or whatever." It wasn't my fault, and mate, if you can relate to that one, it's not your fault either. It's just something that we learned when we were kids. we learned that we had to bend over backwards to try and get approval and validation from people in our environment, usually because our parents or our caregivers, they weren't actively meeting our needs in the way that we needed. So we learned that we had to be something different to what we were, otherwise we would risk abandonment for it. If you want to be a confident man, ask for what you want directly. And this next biggest difference is something I actually experienced with a client of mine, and it's all about approval. A client of mine, an ex-client of mine, Gabriel, he had a nasty habit. This habit was overthinking every single response. In social situations, he'd constantly overthink everything he was saying. It was paralyzing. He over-text. Before sending a text to somebody, he would overthink every possible response. He even went into ChatGPT and was sort of looking at all these different kind of responses and going back and forth with ChatGPT. And he said to me, it's paralyzing. He says he can't be himself. He's constantly anxious all the time if he gets it wrong. This kind of paralysis by analysis is classic nice guy behavior. And it's fueled by a deep fear of rejection. Because on a deeper level, he does not know how to approve of himself, so he craves the approval of other people. There's a lot of stakes involved. But what does a confident man do? Because a confident man approves of himself first, the potential risk for rejection is massively reduced. This allows his nervous system and his body to relax, to accept that he may send some messages or say some things in a social situation that might be perceived as strange or weird or not very funny or whatever. But because he has a strong sense of self-esteem, that rejection isn't anywhere near as painful than if it would happen to the nice guy. Does that make sense? Just remember this, mate. Your approval matters more than anyone else's approval, including mine. But this next difference is my favorite because it ties in with my deepest value, and it's related to authenticity. I need to ask you a question, mate. If somebody saw the real you, would they see the same person you show the world? I used to be a social chameleon. I used to, in a social situation, I would scan pretty much the whole environment, everyone in it. I would assume what people wanted me to be, and then I would warp and change my behavior to suit what I thought other people wanted from me. And I even took a little bit of pride in that. But the downside of it was I never felt connected with anybody. I could have been surrounded by 20 people and I would feel lonelier than if I was alone at home. Around others, I was completely disconnected from myself. And that's what nice guys do. Nice guys trade authenticity for approval, and they are social chameleons. But what does a confident man do? A confident man knows who he is. He knows what his values are. He has a vision for how he wants his life to be. He cares about something far greater than the passing kind of fleeting approval of random people. And he allows, because he operates from that strong sense of self, he allows people to enter his life who are aligned with him, and he lets the people who aren't aligned with him go. He realizes that losing them, the people that aren't aligned with him, is better and preferable to losing himself. A confident man lives by this mantra. It's better to be hated for something you are than loved for something you're not. Mate, if you see yourself more in the nice guy column, I understand that it might be uncomfortable. Really, it's uncomfortable to realize this about yourself. But this is why I'm running a live workshop on Sunday. We are going to work on this nice guy role so you can shift into the confident man you really are. Click the link in the pinned comment down below, check out the details, and I'll see you on the workshop. Stay courageous, brother. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next video.